everyone. It is Amanda and Sean from Our Bronco Life. And today we are joined by the amazing Allie from Mid-Michigan Broncos and Brighton Ford in Brighton, Michigan. And she recently had the wonderful opportunity to go down to the dealer preview event at the Ford Bronco Off Roadeo just outside of Austin, Texas, one of the 4 Bronco Off Roadeo locations. And Allie, it is so good to see you. How are you today?
Good to see you guys again.
Yeah, it's great catching up. There's been a lot of buzz lately with the launch of the Off Roadeo just a few short weeks ago. We're really excited to hear about your experience. You posted some great content on your Instagram videos and photos on your Mid-Michigan Broncos page. But before we dive deep into the trails, I love, the hidden details. When I'm, researching vacations and stuff, I like the things you don't usually see. So I want to talk about some of the logistics. I know you came down from Michigan. How long was your overall experience down in Texas?
It was amazing. So putting the rodeo aside, I've never traveled to Texas. So first off, the people there are amazing. I don't think I ran into one person I had a bad experience with. Just everybody was super friendly, super nice. The second people find out you're a tourist, they tell you a million places to go. So it's about an hour and 10 minutes outside of Austin.
Okay.
So I rented a car. Of course, it was a Fusion because I was with Ford. So rented a car, drove there, and it was actually a very easy drive to get to the hotel. So Horseshoe Bay is actually the sponsor hotel that you'll be checking in with if you do choose to stay with them. But the whole time getting there was super easy, really cool scenery, and just all around a good experience for that so far.
Great. And so Horseshoe Bay, I know I've seen some stuff on Instagram that you've posted as well. You stayed there 2 nights, right?
Yep.
So how was that?
So the dealer preview, you did get to stay 2 nights. It's a really nice hotel. I mean, they have pretty much anything you can imagine there. Now, I got there kind of late, and of course we got up kind of early, so I didn't get to experience a ton of it. But I walked around. They have jet skis. There's golf, so if you're a golfer, you can go. You do have access to that. For the girls, they have a full-blown spa.
Whoa.
The whole thing was huge, right? I thought about it. It was funny that I was there, but it was actually really cool. And the minute you walk in there, they actually redid part of their hotel to feature Bronco.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah. So was there one there or just a kind of swag and stuff?
No swag was there, unfortunately. Wow. That is left for the Off Roadeo location. But you walk in, so there'll be a little check-in area that's a huge, Bronco Off Roadeo Texas little stand. Then you go to the other side, and they have one of those. They're kind of floating around Instagram. The benches made out of
so cute.
So apparently they are making them to sell.
Yeah, I just posted that on our Instagram yesterday, and
so cute.
Everyone's like, I want one, and we need to get one of those once those goes live.
I know, I did see that, and then they didn't tell us exactly when they would be available, but they said they are making enough of them that they would be for sale for people. So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of need one. Don't know where I'm gonna put it.
I know us too.
My house, but I need one.
We're where are we gonna put it in our apartment? But somewhere.
Yeah, we have a small apartment in New York City, but we'll make it fit because it's really cool and vintage and pretty fun. Yeah. Did they shuttle you from the hotel since they're the partner hotel?
They did. So actually, the morning of, we had breakfast. It wasn't really. It sounded like they were still doing the breakfast for the customer preview when that opens. But you have breakfast down in the lobby area. And they have 2 huge transits to transfer you to Horseshoe Bay, to the Off Roadeo, and of course it's decked out in Off Roadeo Bronco gear.
Nice.
I'll give you the picture of that. But it was one of those things that that we all traveled there, and while you're driving from Horseshoe Bay to the Off Roadeo location, they play a little trailer of what Off Roadeo is going to be like for you, and some old footage of some of the older Broncos to the newer Bronco. So it was actually really cool.
Cool. Yeah, the grounds look so amazing. I know that you had a busy schedule, but were you able to be able to have any free time there? I mean, it looks like you could spend all day there and just have fun exploring the grounds.
That's the thing. Like, I honestly feel like this could be like a 2 to 3 day adventure of everything that's available to you. They took about 8 to 9 months, and they're actually still doing some of the landscaping to everything. But it's absolutely beautiful. You were able to walk around a little bit. You did kind of have a set schedule. We got a little bit more walking around time because it did downpour a little bit, which only made for muddier trails.
Great, more fun, right?
They're Broncos, so it wasn't a bad deal at all. So from what I understand, I mean, unless there's like huge lightning or like tornadoes or something like that, rain or shine, like you don't have to really worry about your event day getting canceled, because if it's raining, that just means you're going to have a little bit more fun, and then you can see what these things.
And did I see a guitar player playing and cornholes? Like there was like so many cool things there.
You did. So at the end of the day, minus like after doing all the Bronco accessories, the trail drives, everything, there is kind of a sit down hangout period. So they do have cornhole, which of course, this was obviously the dealer preview. So you get a bunch of salespeople together. Guess what? It's going to be a competition of something. So some of the guys that were there my day decided to do a competition of cornhole, which was super funny. But yeah, there is live music. They have musicians kind of coming in and out and playing at the end of the day. So it was honestly a really cool experience, and kind of like a cool down period, just to kind of talk about the day and everything we got to experience.
Love that.
Yeah. Were you able to check out the merch store, and what did they have there?
Oh God, my wallet.
Did you have to pack a second suitcase to bring back?
I purposely brought a bigger suitcase because I was actually the only person from my dealer, which was cool, but it kind of sucked at the same time, because as I was like showing pictures and sending them to everybody back in the office, they're like, oh, I gotta get this, I gotta get this. I'm like, okay, cool. So I think I came back with like 4 Yetis for everybody, on top of hats. And
oh my God.
Wait, did you say 40?
No, just 4.
I thought you said 40.
I was like,
said
40. I was like, oh my gosh.
No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the security checkpoint would start giving me a lot of dirty looks at that point of what I was trying to do.
Oh gosh.
But awesome. Yeti actually is down in Texas, so I know they have like a little agreement worked out, because all the stuff down there that Yeti has, or that you can buy of Yeti, is all engraved in Bronco Off Roadeo.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
love that extra
really
detail.
Cool. So
heck yeah.
Have some.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, now we've talked about the merch and the grounds. Now let's talk about the drive experience, because that's so important. And before you got to get behind the wheel, was the orientation? How was the orientation teaching sessions like?
So it was actually really cool. So we were in groups. So my group had 15 people in it. And they kind of broke us up in 2 groups. One group went with one trainer, one group went with another trainer. And they went through every little mode you could think of. The trail turn assist, the rock crawl. They teach you how to do like properly going into water. We kind of made a few jokes of who was going to walk in to like test the depth of it first because of all the rain. They teach us like how to create the wake so the Bronco can move like through everything, which was very cool.
Yeah, I would have no idea. That's a great thing to, I don't know if there's a right or wrong way to go into the water, and clearly there is.
Yes, so, and that's the other thing. Like, it doesn't matter your experience for this. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not like some high-speed chase, like off-roading, like adventure. It is kind of a slower pace for everything. But honestly, it's for everybody. Experienced beginner, you're going to take away something from this.
Right.
And to be able to like dial in on all of the different modes of the Bronco, it's honestly, I don't think anybody left like not thrilled or excited. Like all of our jaws hurt from smiling all day. So it was really cool to kind of like go in like station by station to see what exactly each mode does, and then how you're going to use it on the trail. Hours later.
Oh, it's making me so excited.
Honestly, like trying to put everything into words is actually very hard.
You're doing great.
It was kind of fast paced for everything because you're hitting all the stations, and we had 1 day to do it versus everybody who gets to experience it. It's about a day and a half. Because there'll be other options available for you guys that was not like open for the dealer preview. But honestly, it was so cool.
Okay, so now once you were all trained and ready to go, how many trail runs were you able to take?
So you actually start off in Bronco Sport. First, actually, you talk about accessories for Bronco Sport, which is only like 15 to 20 minutes because there are more expensive like accessories for Big Bronco than Baby Bronco. So you start off just talking about accessories, things like that, and then you get into Bronco Sport, and I was surprised. So everybody does ask me what were some of my favorite things. One of the top 2 have to be actually driving Bronco Sport.
Wow.
Like, surprisingly, because of course most people are there for Big Bronco. We
understand
that. They understand that. But if you have the Badlands or the first edition, you can actually go to Off Roadeo, but you actually can only go to Texas. You can't go to
okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, that's good to know.
So with that, you do kind of see what this can handle, and we are very surprised. I didn't think it was going to be able to go in some of the waters and some of the creeks that we went through and some of the rock trails, especially it being as wet as it was. Because it downpoured for probably like half an hour, but it was a very heavy downpour, so some things flooded over. But
Perfect.
honestly, surprisingly, it handled really well.
Wow, go baby brother. Baby brother.
Everybody was shocked at that point because we're all getting out of the cars and both of our instructors are looking at everyone and they're like, yeah, just wait till the big brother comes out. We're like, yeah, no kidding. So,
wow.
I think that's great to hear because the Bronco Sport is great and a fun little car, but it doesn't get enough credit for what it's capable of doing. You know, Ford's done some great job of like marketing and showing the you know, its trail capability, but to have personal experience and someone to tell it like you and how impressive it is, I can't wait for more and more people to get behind the wheel and test it out.
Yeah, that's so wonderful to know because, I mean, we love and appreciate the baby Bronco, the Bronco Sport, but to hear from you that's really wonderful.
Right.
I know that was one thing I was definitely, because again, I was lucky to be able to go by myself because for the dealer preview, you did have to switch with other people and kind of like drivers, things like that, because it was like one dealer per car. They were trying to be friendly and mindful.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like they were trying to be mindful of all the COVID rules, which we understand some parts of the country are still a little bit locked down than others. So they did try to have us all in one car. So I got to do all of the driving for both the Bronco Sport and the Big Bronco while other people were swapping out.
So once you essentially the ribbon's cut, do you get assigned a vehicle? Do you get to pick a preference? Do you have like a short list, like, oh, I want to do a Badlands, I want to do a Wildtrak, or how does that work in terms of you getting in a vehicle of choice?
At the time, we didn't really get to like pick and choose. They have in a group you're gonna have 8 Broncos. One trail driver will be in charge of 4. The other trail driver will be in charge of the other 4. And it was kind of whatever was cleaned and parked there. That's the ones that you got to because they have so many scheduled throughout the day. They're just constantly rotating. So as you start taking these on the drives, they do spray them off, clean them up. So they look like brand new Broncos by the time they come back up to the group.
So which models did you get to drive of the big Bronco?
The Bronco Sports, it was only the Badlands and first editions that are available. But there are first editions scattered out throughout the groups of Broncos. So I believe between Bronco Sport and Big Bronco, you're looking at about 80 physical Broncos out there for you.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah, there's a huge herd out there for you.
That's awesome. That is quite the Bronco squad out there. Now, in terms of the big Bronco, did you get in a 2-door, 4-door, and which Bronco were you driving on the trails of the bigger Bronco?
So for Big Bronco, there was actually a very good mix of Broncos out there of 2-door and 4-door. Specifically, I was in a 4-door Wildtrak.
Ooh.
Nice.
Super fun, I'm not gonna lie.
Yes. A lot of people we've been interacting with have Wildtraks on order in Badlands. You know, everyone is excited for the awesome capability, and of course, Sasquatch being such a huge take and that being standard on there. So in the big Bronco, how many trail rides were there, and was each trail ride specific for a goat mode, or did you kind of switch throughout the trail?
So you kind of switched it up every once in a while. So you do have, for the most part, you are by yourself. So because I was the only person from my dealership, I did have a trail guide with me. All of it, but he was also jumping in and out of the Bronco, directing other people, and you'll see some videos to where like they're pointing at you in some directions of what to do. So with that, that was actually kind of fun to have him there because he would say, okay, now he would give you a little bit more like in-depth conversation of some of the modes and stuff. But for the most part, we were in mud and rut because of all the rain. And I also got to try out Baja mode in one of the courses. So for Bronco Sport and Big Bronco, you do get to take it on a little course. You get to go about 25 miles per hour, and some of them are tight turns. So when it's muddy, be mindful of how much you can slide. The first time I did slide a little far. But that's where, if like as weird as this sounds, like you want it to rain. Just so it's a little bit muddy and things like that, because with how dirty I got the Bronco Sport, it was a lot of fun.
So what mode or experience trail like really surprised you, or was like the standout one? Was it the water fording, the trying out the rock crawl?
Now I have to pick, so this is the hard part. So
it doesn't have to be your favorite one that really stood out of like a wow factor, like something you've never done before, or maybe like this was really impressed me through the roof.
It was probably the rock crawl mode, to be completely honest, because in Michigan, I'm a beginner off-roader. I haven't done that much off-roading. I mean, I've taken my truck out, but that's more of mud and donuts, and when it's snowing, you do donuts type of a thing. Not actually diving down in, like, going in tight little narrow areas and navigating this thing. So the one thing that stood out, there's a part where, like, you're going up a rock trail, and at some point, like, my Bronco was like this.
Wow.
I was shocked. I didn't think I would be able to do it at all. But honestly, like I said, the trail guides are awesome. They walk you through everything.
Great.
And the ease of everything. And after a while, you just started to gain confidence of what this Bronco can do. So the biggest like takeaway from it is, if you're new and like just starting off, don't be scared. Like that was the coolest thing. To be able to do it, because the camera in front of the Bronco can't really see over it when you're crawling up the rocks and stuff, but the camera helps a ton so you can see what's in front of you. And then obviously when you level out, it was one of those things I was like, holy crap, I can't believe that I just did that and I didn't break the Bronco. So, yeah, that part was probably the best.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That sounds, I can't wait for that. And I know Amanda she's very fearless when it comes to a lot of things, heights and things like that. And so for her to see this rock crawl, she's going to just have no fear and just feel it's going to be great that these trail guides are going to teach us, a lot of beginners to be comfortable in that. And it sounds like everyone was safe and, nice and slow pace is good to start, so you can get that confidence. So when everyone does get their Broncos, over the next few years, they can go to the sand dunes, the rock crawls, the Moabs, and feel very comfortable and confident.
So it really sounds like you had a phenomenal experience. Were there any other highlights that you might want to mention, or things that you took away from it as well?
Well, the biggest thing is, and the one thing they kind of hit on like throughout the time of, like, as long as they were making all of these trails and stuff, they really wanted to hit on like nature and taking care of it, and like you can do all this
love
stuff
that.
actually like ruining the environment. So they were very big on that, which was actually very cool, because you can go out and you can like have a ton of fun with these things, but also like be mindful of the area that you're into. I will say, when you go down to there, make sure you know some Bronco facts because there will be some prizes for you.
Oh, I did see that on your Instagram stories. You did have a lot of prizes in your hand because
yeah. Where did I knew I put them out here. So everyone starts off with 1, and with that you get a little Bronco family.
Oh, nice.
Card. Or not card, sticker. They're like decals that you can put on your Bronco. But there's going to be some specific for each place. So to be able to get all of them, obviously you'd have to go to all 4 that they have opened. But it was actually, we made it into a little competition of who had the most stickers at the end for everything. So that part was actually kind of fun.
Did you win?
No, I lost by 1.
Oh, close. That's
so
right.
the highest person that had it, I think, was 11. So I had 10. But
that's a nice, fun little extra interactive thing to do, and keep people entertained and excited all day.
For sure.
And that's the thing. One of the funny things is, so when you walk into the building too, they did hide Sasquatches. So you.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
these are great things I love to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, look in windows and corners, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Did they ever tell you how many are hidden?
No, they didn't. That's the thing. So everybody was looking for them all day.
That's fun.
That is funny. Yeah, like a nice scavenger hunt. These are extra little Easter eggs, hence all the Bronco Easter eggs that they have on the vehicle itself. Mm-hmm. So it's a nice little added touch for sure. I love it. Just looks so beautiful there. Once you were done, I liked the idea of winding down and socializing together. Was there a kind of a closing time, or did you kind of freely leave on your own, or what? How long is the end of the day, or when is the end of the day?
It was kind of a on your own type of a thing. We had a little thing, a little huddle at the end, and we got to talk about some of the things we were super confident in. Did you not being confident in something? But honestly, I don't think anyone did. I think I was actually with a bunch of people who have never off-roaded before, so that part was really cool. Because we were all kind of in the same boat, because I was terrified going down there. One was the only girl, and I was lucky enough to meet one other girl that was down there.
Love
and
it.
now we're good friends on Facebook, which is super funny.
I can't wait. I'm let's go.
And that's the thing. I was pumped, and then not knowing that I was gonna be with one of the trainers and trail guides. I was the first Bronco to go, so now I was at a panic, oh my god, I have to lead with all the guys behind me here, I can't screw up. So, but they don't. Yeah, they don't let you fail. If you get stuck with something, you just walkie-talkie over to them, and they'll walk you to make sure you're in the same modes and stuff like that. Just to make sure you didn't miss anything.
That's great.
It's literally the best time ever. We probably stayed 2 hours after our group was technically done, but just out and talking to the trail guides, getting to know everybody, because truly everyone who's kind of purchasing a Bronco is now kind of turning into a family, which has actually been kind of cool to see and do.
Right. I love the Bronco community that we've been growing with throughout the past almost a year since we put our deposit down. It's coming up on that, which is crazy. I have a reverse countdown on my phone. I think we're at 315 days since the initial deposit. But the community is so close, meeting people and talking with people. It just, they're once you have a Bronco, you're family for life. And so it's what's going to be great when you go to the Off Roadeo, meet fresh faces, meet these people that you can connect with down the line, and extend that, whether it be on Instagram, Facebook groups, anything like that. That's a lot of fun. I love that aspect of it.
Yeah, it was actually experience has probably been one of the coolest, because with being with Brighton Ford, I am one of the Bronco specialists. So I've been talking to pretty much everyone, unless you've been a previous customer of one of our other sales guys. But typically half the time the sales guys look at me or Bronco question, they just point to me. So I've just been answering kind of everybody's questions as best as I can. But everyone comes in and they kind of know the status on the Bronco. They know some of the holdups and stuff, but they just want to talk. They want to talk about vacations and what they're doing. And it's that's the coolest part about it, because there's so many opportunities with having a Bronco that you can do this all with. So that's probably one of the favorites.
Now, as we wrap things up, I got to ask, but I know we already know the answer. Would you go back?
Yes, 150 times yes. So when I get, see, here's gonna be the hard part. I love Texas and everything it had to offer. Like, I want to go back to Texas, but it's like we also have all these other rodeos opening up that makes me want to go and experience those as well. But honestly, like, I can't stress it enough. Like, you have to go. Which also brings up another point too. Like, I've gotten this question a lot. So with people going to the off rodeos, some couples do like co-sign for each other's loans. It is one person per household that does get to go. That they actually take care of that first person for you. But there is going to be a discounted rate for like a second person to go. But you also remember if you reserved it within, I think it was like the first launch date to I think like October. It should be in a Bronco email. You do get a $250 voucher to go to one of the off rodeo locations. So I know that was probably the most asked question when I posted that I was doing this with you guys to know. How do I go to? You can go. I don't know exactly the like cost of it because they were still figuring all that out when we were down there. But you do get a voucher for it.
We will definitely both be going.
It's going to be, regardless of the price and time and stuff. It seems like a once in a lifetime experience. Granted, you can be going over and over again, and you can get a passport essentially to check all your stamps at all 4 locations, which would be totally fun. But that was a question too I wanted to ask. But you pretty much answered it. If people were on the fence about going, afraid of the cost and maybe the time off, but I mean, just hearing you, beam about it and praise it, it sounds like such a great experience that goes by so fast that you just want to be there for a week or something.
Yeah, you honestly do, and that's the thing. Like, I thought I got a lot of footage, and like looking back, I feel like I probably could have gotten so much more. But it's like you're having so much fun. Like, you're grinning ear to ear. Like, my trail guide was joking all the time. He's like, you can't see this girl in this car, but she's grinning ear to ear, and like she won't stop giggling.
Oh, that's great.
A couple of points where like it was like a nervous giggle because I couldn't believe I was doing it. So they kept calling it like giggle mode. I'm like, yep. Like,
that's me.
Yep. See? You'll relate and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you're going down there too.
I want to put like a little GoPro in the corner just showing Amanda's face when we go so I could watch just the joy on her face and just like her, because she's very expressive. So to see her expressions like, like
I tend to squeal.
Yeah, squeal. So I can't wait to see that.
I was definitely that girl squealing on the trail. So it was really
all
fun.
for it. Well, live it up and enjoy it.
And it was hilarious because some of the guys that were like in my group too, like halfway through the Bronco drive, they're like, "Is that a GoPro in your Bronco?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Why didn't we think of that?" I'm like, honestly, I was saved by a coworker that I work with. We're actually really good friends. And he's like, "I have a GoPro if you want to borrow it." I'm like, "Yes, 100% yes. Like, please give it to me." So he gave me like a quick rundown the Saturday before I left. He's like, "All right, if you have questions, just text me." And it honestly lasted the whole time, which was awesome.
Great.
That's great.
That's great. Now, as we're starting to close things up, did you get any additional questions that you wanted to touch on from, I know you're very active on the forums, your Facebook groups, and on social. Did you get any questions from any of the fans out there that they wanted to know about the Bronco Off Rodeo?
No, that was pretty, we've talked about a lot of it. They want to know like the schedule of like what to expect. And honestly, the one thing I think that I touched on in posting on Instagram was the 2 trail drives where you get to drive the Bronco Sport and the Bronco, like the 25 miles an hour.
Right.
And all I gotta say is like have fun with it. Like look at the different modes that you're in. That part I honestly like wanted to do again because we were running a few minutes ahead of schedule. Because the only thing I was a little bummed out about, we could not do the Have Fun ride, or I think that's what it's called.
The Fun Ever team.
Yes. So
those are great guys or a great team. I love, Vaughn getting in his team.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we were so bummed, but it rained so hard and it like washed out some of the course, and they couldn't go as fast as they wanted to. So I've seen some of the videos and it looks amazing. So I'm just gonna have to do it when I go back down.
Round two.
Right.
Exactly. So we kept joking like if we could do the course like twice and just since we got to miss out on one, could we just do it twice on the other? He's like, no, we can't. We do have to get these back for the next group. But
you gotta ask. It's always no if you don't ask, right?
Exactly. So that part was super fun. And then of course we all got like, we had one guy in our group get nicknamed Trouble just because he pushed it a little bit too much. But he was really cool. Everyone, and that's the one thing, like, right? Everyone was super respectful. And like when we were there, I was the second week that it was fully running, and everyone respected the Broncos, which was awesome. Like there wasn't really like any damage done to them because obviously you're off-roading, you're very close to trees and rocks and stuff. But they also have very good control of the Broncos and telling you what to do, which I thought was kind of cool too.
That's great. Well, Allie, thank you so much for joining us today and doing this with us. We just love interacting with you online and with this great Bronco community. You've just been so wonderful and such a great contributor. And we really just love your passion and the communication that you continue to have with both of us. And we had anyone that is looking for a Bronco, see Allie.
Come see me.
She's truly, like, no lies. She knows everything. She's so helpful. She's wonderful. Go see Allie, Brighton Ford, Brighton, Michigan, Mid-Michigan Broncos. She's just so lovely.
Yes.
Anything, go get your Bronco through her because she's so wonderful.
Communication is key, and everyone loves, and you are excellent at it. Anytime we're chatting back and forth, we will leave all your contact info in the description of the video, and make sure you follow Allie at Mid-Michigan Broncos
she's
and
great.
Brighton
so
Ford.
Great.
Any last words before we let you go? I mean, we could talk all day about this.
I feel like we could just keep this going, but no, I think we hit almost everything. I mean, if anybody has questions, I'll be happy to answer anything to anybody. So
thank you. Yes, this was great. This is very helpful for us. It's just giving us like goosebumps wanting to go more and more and more. So crossing our fingers we can make that happen soon, and the Bronco will be on the road before we know it.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.